Hey everybody! So I thought I would try something a little bit different today. I've gotten a number of requests for me to review the wildlife here on my channel. I don't feel that great, and I'm working on my Tarzan review right now. So I didn't have time to do a full edited review, but I did post a review yesterday on my blog. So you want to make sure that you're following me on my blog. And because sometimes I have more time to update the blog and before I have time to update this channel. But I thought I'd try just doing this sort of casual and giving some of my thoughts, and let me know what you think, if you think this is a good way to go or you prefer the edited reviews. So the wildlife. Now, the trailers going into this, it looked pretty bad. It looked Norm of the North bad to me, and I was nervous. And it is a Belgian film that has now been dubbed into English as opposed to Norm of the North. That was not the case with that. And so, I was like, oh, I hope it just didn't look fully rendered like a high, big studio animated film. And so I went into it with pretty low expectations. It also looked like it had pretty bad comedy. And I think a lot of people will go into this film expecting a comedy, but it's really actually not that funny. There's pretty much all the funny parts are kind of in the trailer. It's actually more of an adventure, and it's not that bad. I'm not going to tell you that it's good, but it's really not that bad. It's the kind of movie that people are going to have tons of hyperbole and people are going to say is like the worst thing ever, but I'm not going to be one of those people because I didn't think so. The action is actually pretty well done. I was impressed with the animation on there's long segments, probably too long, where they're dealing with a shipwreck. The water looked really good, where they're fighting off these cats, where they're fighting off these pirates, and the action was pretty good, and it was fast paced and it moved along, and the characters were pretty fun. It was cool that they were all voiced by non-celebrities. That was sort of refreshing, I thought, for this kind of a movie. And I don't know, it was very weird. Like, it definitely has sort of a European feel to it. There are a lot of choices that they make that Americans wouldn't make. Like, there's a character that dies in a way that would never happen in a American film. That was really surprising to me. And there's a character that gets pregnant, and the way that that's handled is really strange. And I don't know, like, it was just odd. And there were a bunch of other moments that were just like, that was weird. But at least it was kind of weird in interesting ways. And like I said, the action was pretty fun and the characters were pretty fun. I think that it's better than something that's just sort of lazy and boring than like an Ice Age Collision Course. I'd rather watch the wildlife any day over that, even with all its problems. The biggest problem with the wildlife, for sure, is the cats. The cats are horribly animated. They're horribly voiced. They're horrible characters, and not horrible in like an interesting or good way. Just in a, like, every time they came on screen, I was just like, oh, I didn't like anything about them. Their character motivations don't really make sense, and they're just kind of, I don't know. I just didn't like them. They're kind of icky, but not in like a cool villain icky way. And the animation is terrible on them, and it's just, the cats are awful. I did not like that at all. But the lead character, that's this red bird, was kind of fun. I think his name's Tuesdays or Any Days or something like that. And then Robinson Crusoe, who I thought was actually going to be the villain going into it, because or sort of be the human that's coming onto the island, and then the animals were going to like kick him off. That's what I kind of thought the story was going to be. But actually, like, he's pretty sympathetic, and he like becomes their friend, and they like work together, and so I can't say I like recommend it. It's not a good movie, but it's not horrible either. It's way better than Norm of the North. Anyone who says it's worse than Norm of the North, I I don't understand, because this had like an actual like coherent story. A it had way better animation. You didn't have any twerking going on. You didn't have, the characters were actually pretty consistent from the beginning to the end. The I don't know. Like, I mean, just Norm of the North with the whole developer and trying to build houses in the Arctic and all the toilet humor and everything. Like, this doesn't have any of that. I think it was way better than Norm of the North, but I don't know. I'd give it a C minus. So it's still rotten technically, I guess, for me, but it's not horrible. It's not unwatchable. It's not like the worst thing ever. You'll probably hear going in, and it's fine. But it just, if they didn't have those cats, if they weren't so awful, the cats, then I probably could give it a solid like C plus probably. But because of the cats, it's C minus, and it is pretty weird. So I don't know. Take that for what you will, but let me know, I guess, if any of you end up seeing it, what you think, because it's definitely an unusual film. And so I was entertained by it. It does have a few boring parts, too, mostly with the cats, because they were really boring. They just were awful. So anyway, that's all I have to say on The Wildlife. Hopefully you'll enjoy this week coming up. I have a review of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for Family Movie Night. Movie Mondays is Best Sports Movies, and I have my review of Tarzan coming up. So it should be a pretty fun week for you guys. And so thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.